So today we're going to talk about trust. And what comes to your mind when you hear the word trust? Most often you think about trusting someone when you're in a relationship. But today we're going to talk about trust in our relationship with God. And most often when you talk about trust, or when you hear the word trust and in relation to God, you think about Proverbs, right? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not to thine own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. That is so true. That is Proverbs 3 and 5. But today we're going to look at Joshua 1 and 9. So let's see what Joshua has to say. Let's see what Joshua has to say about trust. The first chapter of Joshua, verse 9. Okay, Joshua 1 and 9 from the King James Version reads, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest." Again, that is Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Here in this text, we notice that Joshua is in the middle of a transition, and more than ever, Joshua has to trust God. How do we know this? We know this because God informs Joshua, I believe that is in the second verse, he says, God says to Joshua, "Moses, my servant, is dead." So now Joshua, he doesn't have that person to lean on. His tutor is gone. Moses was tutoring Joshua along the way. And so Joshua no longer has his tutor by his side. Much like some of us today, we have someone that we grew up with, or someone we work with on a job, or just a close friend, and that person was always our guide. And when God takes that person away from us, we feel a little bit vulnerable. So that's how Joshua felt. He was in a transition, so he had to change his mindset. Because God told him, "Moses, my servant, is dead." And now God is giving Joshua clear instructions on how to move forward, how to cross the Jordan. He is now leading the children of Israel, and they have to cross the Jordan, and he no longer have Moses by his side. And in the climate in which we're living in today, some of us, again, no longer have that significant other or that person of importance by our side. And it can be a painful thing. It can be a scary thing, because what you are so accustomed to is no longer there. And so I admonish you, before you throw in the towel and say, you can't handle this because so-and-so is no longer with you, take a look at who's giving you the instructions, okay? The instructions are coming from God. And he says, "Have not I commanded thee?" Who is it that is commanding me? The I am that I am, the one who knows the beginning from the end, the one who is faithful to keep his promises to us. He's the one who is now commissioning Joshua, the one who watches over his word to perform it. So just as God commanded Joshua, God is commanding those of you who may feel hesitant about moving forward, you feeling scary about moving forward. God is telling you that you don't have to go it alone, because I am with you. And yes, you can do this. Whatever it is that God is commissioning you to do, it's not too much. You can do it because God is with you. What better person to have by your side than God? What better person to have to give you the commission? Because if he's commissioned, he's watching over that word to make sure the job gets done. And whatever he is sending you out to do, it will come to pass. He told Joshua, "Be not afraid, nor be dismayed." Why? Because I am with you. Job says it like this: "He knows the way that I take. My feet follows in his tracks." The one preceding you had to go on to glory. Even though he was your tutor or she was your tutor, God had to move that person out of your life, not just for them because their time had expired, but for the purpose that he has in your life. God is trying to fulfill something in your life. So he have to move you on with or without a tutor by your side. God also says to Joshua, now therefore arise. So in closing, I encourage you to arise and take your rightful place on this journey called life. There are some that God is giving you stewardship over. So it is very important that you tune in and listen to what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to you at this time. And the only way that you're going to get victory out of the circumstance that you are experiencing now is that you directly link your hearing to the obeying of the voice of the Lord. For Joshua, it was the promised land. And again, for some of you, it may be you're crossing the Jordan, may be helping someone else along the way, being a tutor to someone else, preaching or teaching the word of God to someone in your family. Whatever it is, it could be a job that you're praying about. It could be your finances. Whatever your Jordan River is, you have to tune in to the voice of the Lord. And not just tune in, you have to also obey the voice of the Lord. So I pray that you will hearken to the voice of the Lord. I pray that the Spirit of the Lord will anoint your hearing so that you can hear him clearly. I pray that he will anoint your eyesight so that you can see him clearly in all that you do. I pray that the Spirit of the Lord will anoint your feet so as you go, you are able to trample over the feet of the enemy and you will reach that expected end that God has for you. So that does it for my conversation with you today on trust. There will be a second segment to this as the Lord gives me leading to talk to you about trust. So if you have any questions, if you have any prayer requests, please leave them in the comment section below. Have a good day.